I always feel like the supporting character around her, which normally I don't mind. But
yeah, but it's your birthday.
The Summer I Turned Pretty is back and bigger than ever, but before we could see the final project, several steps had to be made. From Zoom being the biggest enemy of the actors to canceled road trips, they faced many challenges before they got cast. The auditioning process is never easy, but the process was even more difficult for Lola Tung, who landed the role of the main character Belly in the show. Lola's portrayal of Belly makes it hard to believe that The Summer I Turned Pretty is her first role in the film industry, but she wasn't completely inexperienced in acting. She landed several roles in her high school theater where she developed a passion for the craft and understood that she wanted to be a part of the acting world, and that happened sooner than she had anticipated. But all could be different, as in the original books by Jenny Han, Belly is portrayed as a white girl with brunette hair. But before the development of the show, Jenny, who has a big role in the creation of the show, decided that she wanted to tell a story of an Asian American whose teenage years are filled with teen drama. With that change being made, the casting department started to look for the perfect girl. According to Lola, when her manager saw the casting call, she said to Lola that she found a great role for her and that she should try to audition. Lola was, however, focused on the school at the time as she was studying at Carnegie Mellon University, but she tried her luck and submitted her audition tapes that were made in her apartment with her roommates. That had to be an interesting experience for all of them. Soon, Lola was chosen to do chemistry tests with her co-actors, but it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, as the whole audition process was affected by the pandemic and restrictions. Unsurprisingly, the auditions were carried out via Zoom, so the situation wasn't ideal for the actors, but they managed to sell their talent. Jenny Han, who is not only the author of the books but showrunner and an executive producer of the show, was worried about the whole casting process via Zoom. She did something like that for the first time. Jenny worked in the industry before on the adaptation of her book To All the Boys I've Loved Before. At the time, it was so much easier to see true chemistry between the actors as they actually could share the same space. What's more, the previous success of the movies meant that the expectations from the project were high. People wanted another Lara Jean and Peter, who were portrayed by Lana Condor and Noah Centineo, and their chemistry was through the roof, so the Zoom meetings with potential cast didn't help to ease the pressure Jenny faced. According to Jenny, the first chemistry reading that she was observing was between Lola and Christopher Briney, and it went so much better than expected that they had already felt that The Summer I Turned Pretty found its Belly and Conrad, and the same thing went for the whole cast until they found the perfect people for portraying the characters. Lola captivated Jenny with her talent, and from the beginning it was clear that Lola would make the cut. Jenny said in the interview, "From the first time I saw her, there is something so natural and pure and good about her that I knew would make a really beautiful Belly that people would root for." Jenny also said that she was rooting for Lola from the moment she saw her tape, and when she felt like a proud mother watching their child at the Olympics and waiting to see if their child will nail it. And her gut feeling was right, as Lola makes a great Belly. Talking about her audition experience, Lola also shared that she got the news about her casting unsurprisingly via a Zoom call where she connected not expecting much, but Jenny was the one who broke the news to the young actress. According to Lola, the emotions were running high. She said in the interview, "It was very exciting and I called my mom crying afterward and we celebrated together, and then I celebrated with my roommates that night. Their way of celebration was to watch Zootopia together," which was certainly a choice. Christopher has a slightly different auditioning experience from Lola. At the time of the auditioning process for The Summer I Turned Pretty, he was actually shooting his first ever movie, Daliant. It was probably easier for him to do the chemistry reads via Zoom as he was busy with his project. He found out about the fact that he landed the role of Conrad the day of the table reading for Daliland. He said in the interview, "That was one of the better days I've been lucky enough to have." The cast's chemistry is so good that one could say that they work like they knew each other before the show, and in Lola's case, it's partially true. She knew her co-star Sean Kaufman, who portrays Stephen Conklin in the show, from high school. In the interview, Lola shared that they had met at the hall and maybe once or twice made eye contact, but Sean, who is 2 years older than Lola, never registered her existence. so Lola knew him from the moment she saw him in the call, but Sean was clueless, luckily. They clicked the moment they saw each other on a computer screen and knew that the chemistry was there because they could feel it. Gavin Castellano, who portrays Jeremiah, was about to give up his acting career and go into real estate, which is an interesting choice for someone so young, but luckily he found out about the audition and decided to try it. He said in the interview, "I was like, this character is so similar to who I am, it would be a shame if I didn't do it." The moment he knew that he had a real chance to make the cut, Gavin ordered the Summer I Turned Pretty book series. According to him, he was mesmerized by the books and couldn't wait to be a part of the project. But the audition process was challenging for him as he was failed by his almost non-existent technical knowledge during auditions. According to him, he had never used Zoom before the chemistry testing, so you can probably imagine the struggle he had to face. Not only was there stress from the audition process, but also from not knowing what to do with the unknown platform. Poor Gavin didn't know how to mute the call or how to make the window bigger. Consequently, his only option was to leave things as they were and try to act out his part with a small square where Lola's face was. The official TikTok account of the show shared a glimpse of Lola and Gavin's chemistry test, and the spark is undoubtedly there.
I guess I always feel like the supporting character around her, which normally I don't mind. But
Yeah, but it's your birthday. And you are the main character, not her.
Gavin and Lola had clearly fun during their chemistry test, and it's no surprise he made the cut. The Zoom calls created chaos everywhere, but so did the callbacks from the production. An example could be David Iacono, who was on a road trip when he got the call that he'd be doing chemistry tests. To put it frankly, it was not an ideal situation, as it'd be difficult to be on a Zoom call while camping and driving, as that was their original plan. He had to quickly find a solution, so he booked a hotel room. David managed to successfully join the call and act out his part with Lola, which landed him the role of Cam. The road trip was slightly disturbed, but the outcome was more satisfying. He said in the interview that he enjoyed bringing Cam to life and delivering on the level that was expected from him and beyond. One of the luckier ones is Elsie Fisher. Elsie doesn't have any funny audition stories because they were asked to join the project by Jenny herself. They met at one party years before the development of the series, and clearly Elsie made an impression on the writer. Once they got the offer, Elsie jumped on the opportunity, and now we can see them as Sky. Rain Spencer did auditions, but according to her, she doesn't have any funny experiences from them. The only thing that stuck in her mind from that time was that after she made her tapes, she let everything go and stood in front of a mirror in her bathroom where she said to herself that she could play Taylor, and she wasn't wrong because the casting department gave her the role. She even read the first book before the first season and the second book before the second season, which only shows her dedication to the project. It's clear that the casting department did its job perfectly, and the audience might get to know young, promising talents to blossom before their eyes, but the fans might agree that the cast didn't have it easy to become a part of the Hulu hit, but luckily all turned out well for them. Maybe one could even say that the struggles the cast had to face before they became part of the project were worth it, because in the end, they managed to bring the popular book series to life, which was the ultimate goal. And they were successful because many people can't imagine their summer without the Summer I Turned Pretty, where Belly struggles to choose between Jeremiah and Conrad while facing other problems that a teenager can have. Are you satisfied with the casting, or do you think someone else should have got the role? Share your thoughts with us and have a nice day. Bye, guys.